This short video introduces the quick individual risk assessment available at travsafe.com.au/QIRA. It is aimed at assisting inexperienced travellers and particularly first-time travellers to get a basic indication of the level of risk they confront in various locations and from various activities they will undertake. I'll explain how Meg used this tool to identify ways of making her planned visit to Sri Lanka safer and more enjoyable. The very basic details of Meg are as follows. She's 20 years old, she's a uni student, she's been to Bali before with her family but has never been anywhere overseas on her own and has never been to Sri Lanka before. She's travelling with a friend, Sally. Sally and Meg want to see the elephants and leopards in Yala National Park. They also want to see a number of hotels and locations in Colombo that were recommended to them by friends. The tool is simple but robust, focusing on the risks to female travellers, which are higher in Sri Lanka and some other parts of the world, such as India. The risks arising from adventure activities, such as scuba diving, bungee jumping, skiing in some locations. On this occasion, though, Meg and Sally want to do some whitewater rafting, which is a riskier activity than would otherwise be the case if they had avoided activities from that group. Risks to travellers also are covered in the tool. Risks to travellers from crime, poor roads, lower road safety standards. Meg and Sally plan to visit the national park, as we mentioned before, which is a 6-hour trip from Colombo on some pretty challenging roads. So that presents a higher risk. And the tool generally is optimised to assist people in improving their planning, reducing uncertainty, increasing safety and lowering travel costs. Downloaded the form from the TravSafe.com.au website. She started to fill it in, noting her age, her sex, the general destination, the fact that she is not travelling alone, the fact that she is engaging in some remote activities, that she has travel insurance, that she's engaging in adventure activities, and that she has not seen the doctor and is not carrying any prescription medication before she goes. She's not pre-booked any transport and accommodation, and she's planning to be away for more than 2 weeks. She does have a second source of funds. All of this adds up to a low elevated risk of travel. Sri Lanka, even without all those personal factors, is a low medium risk of travel, but a low elevated risk requires some action, thinking about how to drop various risk categories that we've identified there, and all of those risks can be identified through the longer individual risk assessment that is available at travsafe.com.au/LIRA. So through the longer risk assessment tool, Meg was able to identify higher risk activities and draw up a plan to reduce the risks of greatest concern, which in this case is the trip into Yala National Park, that green area on the southeastern tip of Sri Lanka as shown in the map. So to mitigate these risks, Meg has hired a car and driver through a reputable company and has booked accommodation when outside of Colombo. This will lower significantly the uncertainty she faces in that area. Hiring a driver reduces the scope for travel at night. She can control the time that she travels. She can structure her activities around the best time to travel, the lowest traffic times to travel, and she avoids unnecessary travel off the beaten track. She's also booked accommodation for the first 2 days in Colombo and the last day in Colombo, both of which involve airport transfers, reducing risk and uncertainty around the trip back out to the airport. Meg and Sally have ended up by engaging in these structured risk management activities. They have lowered the risk of travel. In the south, they've got a better travel plan, they've got more certain plans, but they've also retained the flexibility to try different boutique hotels in and around Colombo without being locked into pre-booked arrangements in places that may not have suited them. Well, I hope this information is helpful. For more information on travel risk assessments, including detailed instructions on how to use the quick and long assessments, check the information at www.travsafe.com.au.